there are people who are caring for a caree that is not a loved one. You hear me all the time refer to Zeddy as my LO. But shit, if you don't like or love who you caring for, they not a LO, they're just a caree. How do you do it all? Honestly, Parenting Up family, I decided to throw back what y'all have been throwing at me. After 5 years and 6 seasons, there are countless questions that come to me from the caregiver community. But you know what? There's some themes. So this episode right here, this one right here, we're going to go over some of the big themes of questions that I've been asked over and over again. And I'm gonna give you the best answer I got. So let's listen. Parenting Up, Caregiving Adventures with comedian Jay Smiles is the intense journey of unexpectedly being fully responsible for my mama. For over a decade, I've been chipping away at the unknown, advocating for her, and pushing Alzheimer's awareness on anyone and anything with a heartbeat. Spoiler alert, this shit is heavy. That's why I started doing comedy, so be ready for the jokes. Caregiver newbies, OGs, and village members just willing to prop up a caregiver, you are in the right place.
Hi, this is Zeddy. I hope you enjoy my daughter's podcast. Is that okay?
Today's supporter shout out comes from our text community. And the name of the community is what? In Community. I didn't make that up. It sounds really silly, but that's actually the company's name. It comes from Regina Davis. Yay! 3 exclamation points. Send pictures. Ah, so cute. This was in response to the Alzheimer's Walk in Atlanta, Georgia, where Parenting Up Community was a media sponsor. So we put up some clips, we sent some special stuff to the text community, and she wanted more. Thank you, Regina. If you want to receive a supporter shout out, leave a review on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, or in our text community. Today's episode, let's talk caregiving, the questions everyone has. I have been a full-time caregiver since the summer of 2012. That's a long freaking time, and a lot has happened. I've met a lot of caregivers. I've read about caregivers. I listen to other people's podcasts, their movies. I mean, Alzheimer's and dementia is starting to get a little sexy. We haven't quite caught up with HIV, AIDS, and cancer, but we gaining on them. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. Y'all know I'm a comedian. But there are people who were fundraising and caring for them kind of made it on trend, in vogue, and fashionable to support HIV, AIDS, awareness, and cancer. So don't hate me because I figured out something intelligent. All right, anyway, the questions. A question that I get all the time that actually confuses me is, Jay Smiles, how do you stay so pleasant? Real talk, y'all, I don't view myself as pleasant. I mean, I also don't view myself as mad. I'm just caring for my mom. Now, I believe what people mean is, how come you can stay not angry or frustrated or pissed off? Fair enough, good question. First, I don't post when I'm in a bad mood. Who the hell needs to see more of me in a bad mood? The world is full of bad moods every day, all the time. Trust and believe, just because you haven't seen it on an episode or on social media or got it in a text from me, it doesn't mean I always have pleasant days. I have tons of dark days. Tons of dark days, dark moments, frustrated, snippy, pissed. Not necessarily with my mom, pissed with life, pissed with the hand I was dealt at times. I don't stay there long because I committed to being my mom's caregiver. So I usually have something in my head that I use as a trigger. I will say something I'm very grateful for, and I will think about and remember when caregiving was harder for me than it is now. When I first started, I didn't have as many answers. I didn't have as much support, help in terms of other caregivers. And you know what else? I also did not have Zeddy's meds together. So usually, if I feel myself in a dark space, what I will do is quickly try to think about 2 or 3 things I'm grateful for. It don't have nothing to do with Zeddy. It might be that the sun came out today, or that I got a really good nap, or I watched a good movie. And that'll just let me take my mind off of my current situation. The next question that is a theme that really pulls at my heart. Jay, Smiles, what if you don't like, damn sure don't love the person you're caring for? And if it's your parent or grandparent or spouse or sibling, and you don't like them, you don't love them because they were ugly to you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bad blood, y'all mad, but now they need your help. Jay Smiles, what do you do? First thing is, I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a medical professional, but the question is serious enough and it comes up enough that I wanted to bring it up just to let you all know that this thing is a theme and it's out there and we need to address it. The fact that there are people who are caring for a caree that is not a loved one. You hear me all the time refer to Zeddy as my LO. But shit, if you don't like or love who you caring for, they not a LO, they're just a caree. And that's cool. What I think about it, based on just what I've observed, is take care of you first, emotionally and psychologically. Like, if it's too hard and it is taking you to a dark space like all the damn time, then maybe you should not be the primary caregiver. Don't let obligation and some sense of guilt or like, look, I'm Catholic, so I know about the Catholic guilt, Christian guilt, Jewish guilt. Like everybody seems to have guilt right now, but MAGA, but I probably wasn't supposed to say that, but anyway, I already said it. And just watch, there's no straight answer for what to do when the person that you're caring for, you don't love or like them. I don't think there's no one answer, but check in with yourself and make sure that you're not losing who you are, right? Because like if every time you look at this person, you remember what happened 20 years ago and now you end up with diarrhea or migraines, it's not working. So you have to come up with something else, somebody else in the family. Maybe they have to go to a facility, but figure it out. What you should not do is sacrifice yourself further than you could rebound when that person is no longer on earth. That's what Jay Smiles thinks. Okay. Jay, do you ever get resentful? The answer is yes. But I don't resent Zeddy. Now, they never asked me, do you resent Zeddy or do you resent what happened? So I don't really know exactly what part of resentment is the question, but what I can tell you is that I don't resent Zeddy because she doesn't want to have the disease either. She did not knowingly contribute to this disease. Now, I'm about to go too far for some of y'all, but I've heard people say this, like, oh man, I got this person I'm close to and they got diabetes, but they keep eating sugar. So I'm sick of them. Or, they keep relapsing on alcohol or drugs. Okay, whatever. I'm not voting on any of that, But I have seen and heard where people seem to take a real stance, a hard line on if the person who's now sick knowingly contributed to what's going wrong. Well, Zeddy didn't. So I'm just wired in a way that if it ain't your fault, I'm not holding it against you. It just so happened that she's my mama, but if she wasn't my mama, I still feel that that's why I don't have resentment towards her. She ain't fucking do it. Okay. Last question. Well, the last question that I'm sharing right now in this episode. Jay, how do you do it all? Caring for Zeddy, maintaining the house, her doctor's appointments, being a stand-up comedian, having the podcast, traveling, keeping what looks on social media to be a full life with friends and a good time. How do you do it all? Honestly, I don't think about everything I just named simultaneously. It would be overwhelming. I only wear one hat at a time. When I'm being my mom's caregiver, that's it. When me and my team are putting together a podcast episode, that's it. And they would laugh and tell you, like, yeah, once Jay gets in talent mode, she don't even know where her purse is. She can't find her lipstick. She don't know what day it is. I forget the topic that I'm supposed to say because I've gotten into, now I'm the podcast host. Same thing with my mom and caregiving. If I'm Zeddy's caregiver, they're like, Jay, can you send me a link to the podcast? What podcast? When I tell you my brain goes blank. I'm like, who podcast? What podcast? Oh, my podcast? Child, please, hold on. So really how I get through doing it all, as I've been asked, is I'm doing one thing at a time, even though all the other pots might be on a low simmer. Okay, I talked about the questions that you all have given me over the years. Let me tell you something. I got questions too. I have a bunch of questions, but I narrowed it down to a couple three. And a couple three always really means three. So if you're not from the deep south in the United States, a couple three always means three. And don't ask me why we say a couple in the beginning. I don't have anything to do with that. I learned this from my elders. Here are the questions I have. Why don't more people care about caregivers? And I mean that with my whole chest. Whether the caregiver is hired or professional, or definitely they're a family caregiver, and whether the caree has cancer or renal failure or Parkinson's. Does it matter what the disease is? The point is, this independent human now needs tremendous assistance from another adult in order to thrive. And why don't people care about the freaking caregiver? I don't have an answer. These are questions that I have that piss me off. I'm only talking about questions that kind of irritate me because I don't have the answer. My next question, why are there no consumer products made for people with dementia? You know what I mean? Like where the product was designed for somebody who has cognitive decline. It's a whole bunch of stuff for the elderly, for people with vision impairment or hearing impairment. What about the thinking impaired? My mama just don't think clearly no more. So I can't even buy the little things, oh, help me, I fall and I can't get up, that damn thing. Because you got to have enough brain about you to press the button to say, oh shit, I fell. And I need somebody to come get me. Where are the products? I don't care if it's a toothbrush, if it's a scale, if it's a chair, a cell phone that actually works for people whose brain is operating in reverse. Reverse, reverse, crisscross. All right. Here's the most pressing question I have. Am I going to get Alzheimer's? I know nobody can answer it, but that is the one that worries the shit out of me. Am I going to get it? Am I predestined for it, like in my DNA or something? Is my lifestyle as a caregiver causing too much stress and too many sleepless nights? Am I going to get this fucking disease? But it worries the shit out of me. All right, so listen. I just shared some stuff I never talked about, questions I have, and a few of the questions that you all have given me throughout this podcast community. But I bet you got more questions now. So that's what we want you to send us. Get at us in the DMs on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and you can text us. Our text community is 404-737-1449. It's free. When you sign up, it will give you a prompt. You fill out everything, and then I'll know what information you want. But what I want from you is for you to send me questions that you have about being a caregiver or questions you have about dementia-related diseases. I feel that there are likely new themes and trends that we need to get into as a community. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. The Snuggle Up today is concise and it's one. There will always be questions. So relax. Breathe. Do not freak out, Parenting Up community, if you don't know what you're doing. If it looks like everybody else has this caregiving thing figured out, or maybe the person they're caring for seems to be thriving and gaining muscle mass and smiling and shit every time you see them, who knows what all is going on with that stuff. The point is, we're gonna always have questions. As you go about this journey of being a caregiver, you're gonna figure things out, and as you figure that out, something new will reveal itself. At a minimum, the person you're caring for is gonna change. Their needs will change. Their deficiencies will change. And you know who else gonna change? Your ass. You gonna change. What you can mentally do, what you can physically do. What if you get older and then you were in a car wreck and now your back is broke for 6 months. Now you gotta figure out how to be a caregiver and you're not as healthy. So try not to stress so much about when you have more questions than answers. Be grateful that you got any answers at all. Thank you for tuning in. I mean, really, 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 thank you so very much for tuning in. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening on your favorite podcast audio platform. Either way, wherever you are, subscribe. Come back. That's the way you gonna know when we do something next. Y'all know how it is. I'm Jay Smiles. I might just drop something hot in the middle of the night.